Good day, everyone. So today we are now on another lesson that we are going to discuss, in which you're going to learn something na naman. And I am shooting again this video, and I am uploading this on YouTube so that you can actually watch it and you learn something from it. Okay. So today, the title of our discussion will be about this one. Um, we are now on the chapter 1, lesson 4 of our module, and it is entitled Contemporary Visual Arts. We are done already with all the chapter before, like for example, chapter 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 1 for lesson 1, 2, and 3. We're done with this 3 already. I have closed already everything about it, and I hope that you really did your best to answer and to do all the things nga ginpa-require ko sa inyo nga obrahon, because if not, I will not give any chance at all, because it has already been laid down to you. Nahambal ko na sa inyo kung ano dapat inyo obrahon. Wala man ko nagkulang sa instruction, kag nahambal ko na gid ang tanan. So kung wala ka nakaobra, despite of the long time nga ginhatag ko sa inyo para mag obrahon ang tanan nga activities, ang tanan nga instruction ko, okay, I think it's not my fault anymore. Okay, it depends on you na lang. Okay? Hindi mo ko pag-resonan nga wala ka internet, wala ka sang signal and everything, because it has been given to you ang tanan nga activities ginhatag sa imo way back pa, okay? And then ginpaobra man sa inyo with the long extension. So I hope that you really did your best nga maobra ato tanan. And it's not my fault anymore kung wala ka nakaobra, because ginhatagan ka na sang lawig nga time, maybe because it's from your own negligence. Especially ng mga ga-message sa akon, na bala nga permi, okay? And gahambal sila nga amo ni, amo na, and everything. May rason lang sila permi. I know you, class, okay? I know everything. I know ang iban sa inyo, naging estudyante ko na. I know your attitude even before we had an online class, okay? Balaan ko ng inyong mga batasan, okay? Hindi niyo na ako tagai rason nga dudahan pagid kamo, kagang iban pagid nga mga nagahalahambal pagid dira nga amo ni damo lang rason every time may ginapaobra, nga wala ko man na estudyante before. I was able to talk na to your other teachers, and I know I had a glimpse of your personality already, okay? So, sometimes, di ba, ang hambal ko gani, nga kung may magpaliwat sa akon sang assessment, may magpa-re-attempt sa assessment niya, ginamarkahan ko na kung may lista ako, okay? May lista ako kung sino ang mga ngalan sina sang gapari-attempt, then gahambal ako na sa ila nga, or sa inyo kung nagpari-attempt ka, nga you cannot tell me nga mag-re-attempt na next time, okay? Because as ginhambalan ta kamo, be careful na next time kung mag-re-attempt ka mo, kung mag-attempt ka mo bala sang quiz or sa mga ulubrahon nyo, be careful. Dapat make sure nga may stable internet connection ka mo, or nami inyo internet hindi magid stable, at least bala para makaya yaman nga ansiran dayon ng quiz nga hindi madula. Okay, para hindi ka na magamba sa akong nga ma-pre-attempt ka, because sometimes gaduda na gid kami class. Kay basi gin-open nyo ang quiz, nag-attempt ka mo quiz, then ginlista nyo ang tanan nga questions, okay? Or na-answeran nyo ng tanan nga questions, tapos mambal ka mo sa amon nga wala ka mo internet and everything. Then, ipa-attempt lang ka mo dayon, mari-attempt lang ka mo kuno abi, gali, balaan nyo na kung anong mga pamangkot. So that mag-attempt ka mo, may answer na ka mo. Okay? That's not, as what I said, it's, your learning is your own responsibility in today's time. Sa subong nga mga inadlaw, sa subong nga panahon, your learning is your own responsibility. Kung amo nang batasan mo class just because you want to get a good grade, ikaw magyapon pwede sa ulihi because you did not learn something. Right? So, amo na class, ang reminders ko lang, may listahan ako kung sino mga pre-attempt sa akon. Okay, so balaan ko na ina kung sa mga sino ng mga tao nga ina. Then, I will not give chance at all nga magpare-attempt agad next time. Okay? I can consider the first time nga nagambal ka sa akon nga mapare-attempt ka, pero if sige-sige, okay, I won't allow it. Now, we're going to continue with our discussion and stand by because along the video, I will be flashing some instructions that you need to do. Okay, so I hope that you will really watch this video because if not, you might miss out some instruction that I will give you. And by the way, in the previous lesson, I have already told you the performance task that you need to do, right? So, amo na mga performance task yung mga obrahon dapat, nambal ko na ina. So, kabay pa, nga obrahon ninyo, and isundo ninyo ang instruction, alright? And now, we're going to continue with this one. As what I've said, we are here already sa aton nga lesson 4 in the chapter 1. So I hope that you will be following me, okay, along the way. This one. And the time schedule, okay, I will show the time schedule first. Okay, so here is the time schedule that you need to learn. You need to know. Basing iban gasala pa. So, schedule of sending of YouTube videos link per section, okay? So, anong oras ko isend ang mga YouTube links every Monday and Wednesday sa taga section, sir? Kamu nabihin nyo pa man ko. Sa ROTTERDAM, ipang-send ko ini ang link by 8 a.m. so that you can watch by 8 a.m. Shanghai, I'll send it by 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Okay? It's not p.m. ha? It's 10 a.m. a.m. ni class. Okay? So, ihatag ko na sa inyo ang link para sinis ang video nga ginalantaw nyo by 10 a.m. Hong Kong will be sent by 3 p.m. sa hapon. Alright? So I hope that you will try to take note of these things if possible, kay para at least mabalaan nyo kung anong oras ka masendan sang link, kag anong oras nyo tapuson lantaw. Okay? And by the way, class, while we are discussing, I want you to get a notebook and a pencil and a pen, and for you to list down all the notes, all the instruction that I am giving so that hindi ka mo class maglantaw-lantaw balik sa YouTube. Okay, para hindi mauyang inyo time, listahon nyo na lang daan, tanan ko nga ginapanghambal. Alright? Next. Okay, so we're done with it. And for this activity, for this lesson 4, entitled Contemporary Visual Arts, all the activities that we're going to do today are this. Okay? So, amo ni ubrahon ta for the lesson 4. And activities to do for September 28, subong, dapat ubrahon. Anong ubrahon ninyo? The activate part. Answer this quiz. This is a quiz. This will be opened right after the link of this video is sent to your section. So, kung na-send ko na ning video nga link, ne, and then if you try to open the activate part, listahon nyo na sa inyo notebook, hindi na kamo magbalik. Kung na-send ko na ning kung ginalantaw nyo ning video, subong, ang activate nga part, na-open ko na. Alright? So, for example, ang oras subong is 8 a.m. So, isend ko na ina sa may ROTTERDAM. Then, oras subong B is 10 a.m. So, isend ko na ina sa may Shanghai. So, open na ng activate. Then, ang oras, sabi subong is 3 p.m. Isend ko na ina, kag i-open ko na ang quiz sa Hong Kong. Alright? Acquire part. This is, as what I've said, the explanation of our discussion. So, read and understand and review for the quiz. Alright? So, dapat, subong adlaw, September 28, ano inyo brahon? Amo ne, activate and acquire. Ang acquire nyo, basahon nyo lang na eh. And amo man na i-discuss natin sa video nga ini. Alright? So, ang apply nga part, sir, san o dapat namon matapos, sir, ang apply nga part, sir. This will be opened right after ko i-send ang link sa video, pero san o pa ni pwede tapuson? Saan pa ni pwede answeran, or saan pa ni pwede ang deadline sini will be or saan pa ni pwede answeran nga i-require ko gid sa apply nga part, pwede nyo answeran ni by Wednesday. So by Wednesday dapat ang apply nga part answeran ninyo. Pwede subong ang apply, hindi ninyo pag-answeran kay para hindi mabugat sa inyo, activate lang gid kamo anay. Alright? So ang apply nga part could be answered na lang by Wednesday. Alright? So tandaan nyo na. Pero i-open ko na siya subong para kung may mga time ka mo bala class sa gab, i-attempt nyo siya, or kung may mga available time ka mo, wala ka mo ginobra sa iban nyo nga subject, basta bakante lang ka mo, you can answer the apply part. Okay? Pero gina-require ko gid siya nga answeran by Wednesday or Miyerkules. Ang assessment, yes sir nga part. Ang assess nga part, this will be opened on September 30, Wednesday. So hindi ko na siya pag-i-open subong Monday. ay hindi ko na siya pag-i-open. Ang assess nga part, saan ko na siya i-open class? By Wednesday. So, sa Wednesday ko i-open ang assess nga part. So, I hope you got that. Kaya para sa assess nga part, sa Wednesday, dululungan ka mo tanan makuha. Alright? So, amo na. Then, aring deadline. Sir, anong deadline? Chapter 1, Lesson 4, when will be this lesson be closed? Saan ko i-close ang bilog nga lesson ni class? Saan isirado ang bilog nga lesson nga part sang lesson nga ni, sang lesson 4? It will be on Sunday, Domingo, October 4, 2020, 11:59 p.m. So, sa gabi ko siya isirado class. Para ang mga wala pa binaka-answer sang Monday, subong nga Monday, wala naka-answer sang activate nga part kay uyaya or may nagka-problema sa signal. Then, ang apply nga part, wala na answeran by Wednesday kay uyaya or wala signal. Kagang assess nga part, wala na answeran sang Wednesday kay uyaya, kay dayaon, kay madaya, or wala signal. Sano na kung ipang-close initanan, ipang-close ko ina sa Sunday, October 4, 2020. So you have the whole week. We will have the whole lesson 4 sa bilog nga week. Okay? Sa bilog nga week nga ini. So for example, class, hindi nyo ba matapos ang lesson subong adlaw, nga lang tawon nyo by Monday, pwede nyo ni siya ipadayon by Wednesday, kay bilog man ni siya nga simana aton lesson kay lawig sa class. Did you get me? So, duwa ni siya ka-meeting. So, by Sunday, sa Domingo, October 4, 2020, 11:59 p.m., gindako-dako ko na para makita nyo gitsang mayo-ayo gid class. Okay? So, saan ko ipang-close ini class? Ipang-close ko ini siya by Sunday. Okay? So, I hope nga nakuha nyo ina. Then, class, ang aton nga discussion nga ini, ang discussion ka ini, I think, kay lawig siya. It will, mga pila siya ka-part man, mga 3 guro class ka-part. So, basing aring nga part 1, kung mautod ning part 1, masend naman ko part 2, sang lesson nga ini, then part 3, para ma-learn tagid tanan nga concept for this lesson. Okay? Kay lawig-lawig siya nga lesson. Did you get me? So, I hope you got that. Now, we're done with the instruction. Okay, so I hope na follow yung instruction class ha. Sir, may pamangkot kami ba sir? What if sir pagka Domingo wala pagi kuya cobra kay uyaya ko tapos wala gid kuya sir kay ano gid uyaya gid ko tamad gid kuya sir ginapabuyan-buyanan ko lang mga ulubrahon ko kay ginapatambak ko lang da para damo-damo ko ulubrahon tapos nalimtan ko na sa ubrahon. May consideration pa ko? No. Okay? Wala na kuya consideration class. I hope you got that. By Domingo, any reason will not be counted na. Okay, i-close ko gid siya class. Okay, kay isa na kasi mana eh. Alright? So, amo lang na class. Then, standby pagit. Kay may mga instruction pagit ko kung ano inyong obrahon while watching this video. Now, we're going to go with our discussion. Last time, we were done with, dali lang. I will just save this one. Okay, so as what I've said, we're done with chapter 1, 2, 3, then chapter 4. Okay, then chapter 4, chapter 1. Nagkakonsura, wait lang. Alright, so, baling ko lang de. Alright. So, as what I said, we're done with 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're going to chapter 4, or to lesson 4, I mean. Okay? So, this one, the activate nga part, you should do this today. Okay? Monday. You should do the activate part. Pwede nyo ma-pause ang video. Then, you go to the activate nga part. Then, acquire part, we're going also to do it. Then, ang apply nga part, as what I've said, can be done on Wednesday na lang. Kay isa man ni kasi mana aton nga lesson. Then ang assess nga part will be opened. Kay ibuksan ko siya by Wednesday. Did you get it? Wednesday. Then i-close ko ini tanan ang bilog nga lesson nga ini by Sunday. So now we're going to start with the ang activate nga part. You pause it, you go to the activate nga part, and you answer it. Okay, read the instruction. Okay, this will not be recorded, but not graded. This will be recorded, gali class, but it will not be graded. Alright? So, we're going to amuning focus sa subong, ang acquire nga part. So, we're going to open this one. Then we're going to discuss about this. Ibalin ko lang di akong sura. Okay? So, swarisi, gabalin-balin kita. Sa acquire na part, learning objectives. Okay? So, amo ni about lesson 4. It's entitled Contemporary Visual Arts. Amo na yung title ta. So, we're going to learn about visual art. So, learning objective naton will be this one. Learning objective. Define what is visual art. Okay. Define what is visual art. Identify the different artworks and their proponent artists under the visual arts category. So, mabalantang mga different nga mga artists nga kinahanglan naton mabalaan para sa aton lesson. Alright? So, amo na siya class. Then, define, identify the different artworks and their proponent artists. Then, number 4, come up with an assemblage. This is already one of your performance tasks. So, hindi na siyang deadline. So, buong nga semana. As what I said, sa nung deadline sa tanan yung performance task ng video, it will be on October 16. Alright? So, I hope you got that. Now, we're going to continue. Philippines is a home for artists. Do you agree? Of course, I truly agree with the class because sa inyo palang gana inamdamo na dira sa mga artists na already. Right? So, dira pa lang makita ko na nga may something, may talent gid kita ya. Alright? So, amo na class. I'll try to make my pagamayon ko lang akong self kay para hindi mag problema sa video. Dari na lang butang ko. Alright? So, alright na. Alright na. Alright, so dira ko na ipabutang for me. What is Philippines is a home for artists. I agree to that because, you know, a lot of things, Filipino value art gida class. Performing arts, especially with the performing arts class, di ba? Damo-damo ang saot, kanta, everything. Pero class, it also is apparent sa love ta sa art, sa mga visual art, sa mga painting. Later on, we will know about visual arts. Just listen, alright? Now, the artworks created by the Filipinos mirror the rich culture of the country, right? So, among artworks ta class nga that you can see in the Philippines, these are all representations of the culture that we have as Filipinos, right? So, tanan class, diba, we have a very rich culture because we were colonized by a lot of foreign invaders. Because of it, we were able to acquire a lot of culture in the way of life that they have imposed or they have influenced us. So, nadala ta na sa kultura ta, and that it makita ta na siya sa mga different nga art naton nga gakaubra or different art nga sa mga Pinoy artists nga gakaubra. Those artworks were inspired by several factors, such as religious affiliations, right? So, most apparent kinadari class, ang mga religious affiliations sa mga artworks class are influenced by what is our religion, what is an artist's religion, right? So, because of this, for example, sa aton nga mga sa influence ng mga Espanyol, right? Sa mga Espanyol class, because they were able to influence us with Catholicism, okay? We were able to adopt some of the way of lives, okay? We were able to adapt ganing entirely kung ano man ang ilang kabuhi, okay? Kung ano man ilang ginhatag sa aton, with giving it a touch of being really a Filipino, right? So, kung ano man ilang influence sa aton, makita man na class sa mga aton nga mga artworks. Education ta, right? So, kung may mga taas imo nga inskulahan, of course, you are still able to make some things nga, or some artworks nga do very relevant gid kay kag nami. And environment, of course. In short, culture plays a major role in the artworks we are enjoying today. You have to remember this, okay? Culture plays a great or a vital role in the artworks or in the kind of art that we are enjoying today. Okay? So, parisang ginambal ko, ang culture kag art can never be separated. So, they always come together. Artists would often turn to their surroundings for subjects or inspiration for their works. Alright? So, as what I've said, culture could really influence or the kind of environment that the artist was raised in or dito siya nagdako really influence the type of art na ginaobra niya. Decades ago, the regional differences in art are quite distinct. Okay? So, decades ago, class, so before pa ang technology maging apparent, malaklas kang maging influential sa aton nga kabuhi as Filipinos, ang mga ano class, ang mga art the type of arts, okay? Nga may mga differences gid bala sa mga kanta, sa mga saot, sa mga textile, sa mga painting, okay? Sa ritual, for example, regional may differences kita class by region. And makita mo na before, every region is known for unique work of arts that it solely produces. Okay? So unique ang may unique na type of art sang una ang taga region. Hindi man gid tayo magamag ko taga region nga region 1, region 2, region 3, no. Okay? So inabalaklas ang do taga lugar lang. Okay? So taga lugar lang do may ara gid sang type of art. At the present, due to the advent of technology, all right, distinction in the art is not as apparent. Why? Given the connectivity, okay, because we're all connected na in just a click of your finger, you can be connected to the world now, what is happening to other places and everything. Filipino artists can now easily connect with each other, thus sharing of their techniques and processes become more convenient. It becomes more convenient na class because for example, sige na obra ni ga-video ka lang. Okay, for example, you are just filming yourself, and then right after filming yourself, you upload it on YouTube, you upload it on media platform, or you share it with all your other artists with your fellow artists coming from the different parts of the country. So because of it, na-influence mo sila class, although lain inyong lugar, and then because of it, na-influence mo sila, and then they could also do the same art nga ginaobra mo, right? Videos and tutorials, as what I said, on how to make artworks can now be accessed on different websites in just a click of a finger, right? Now, artists can inspire one another all over the archipelago with just a click of finger. So, class, do not just revolve around the idea nga with just a click of a finger, makakuha ka na dahil sang jowa or makakuha ka na dahil sang nobyo or nobya. Alright? So, just, hindi lang muna ang faxabong with technology. It can also be true with arts, right? With just a click of a finger, maka-influence ka na sang iban. Alright? So, I know nga daan, class nga damo ka mo yung mga chichik, kaburitsi sa mga inyo nga kabuhi, bala class nga, you try to make friends with people coming from different sides of the country, right? Then, di ba, hindi lang ganun friendship ang ginapangitaan nyo, pero it's more than that, right? Next! So, before we continue with our discussion, may hatag naman kasi inyong instruction. Di ba last time, as what you have seen, I am just giving you codes, and then you encode the code, or you comment down the code kung din mo nakita imo ngalan. Okay? You comment your own code, and then there is a YouTube. Okay, gina-comment yun na. However, today, it will be different. What are you going to do? I will show a question. Then, after showing a question, you need to put your answer. You need to put your answer sa my YouTube comment. What are you going to do? Write your name, your section, and then the answer for the question, for your question. Sir, kinahanglan pa ba na namon ibutang ang question? No. Okay, just answer it. Para ang mga classmate, yung nga hindi kakita, bala class, do not share it. Okay? I know that this is not time to be competitive, pero if you really want to help your classmate, bala class, to learn something, to really learn something out of the videos na ginapang-upload ko, because I hambal ko sa inyo, hindi siya mahapos obrahon, then hindi siya mahapos i-record. And then kung gusto nyo mag-learn ang classmate nyo, kaya para hindi siya mapwede, pag-abot sang inadlaw, and then hindi siya ma-zero pag-abot sang quarter exam, hindi nyo pag-i-share class kung ano man ang instruction ko sa daring nga lesson. Okay? Or sa mga videos ko. So now, what are you going to do? You only need to do, what you need to do is to comment your name, complete name, and then your section, then the answer to the question. Are you going to comment down the question itself for your section? No. Hindi pag i-comment ang question. Only the answer. Did you get me? Alright. So now I will show first the question for section Rotterdam. So Rotterdam, amon inyo nga question. Okay? So for section Rotterdam, amon inyo nga question. So I hope that you got it. For section Rotterdam, what will you say to someone who doesn't appreciate art? How will you motivate him or her about art? So you try to answer this question dira sa YouTube comments along with your complete name and your section, which is Rotterdam. Alright? So for example, Stephen B. Bahande, 12 Rotterdam. Then my answer to the question, do not put the question nga amo ni. Okay? Do not put that. So what are you going to do? Answer it in any language nga gusto mo i-answer ina. Okay? Kung gusto mo mag-answer ya in Hiligaynon, pasugtan takaw. In Filipino, pasugtan takaw. Or even in English, pag gusto ka. Kung ano lang ang gusto mo i-answer. Did you get me? Alright. So I hope you got this question. Stand by sa ibang pang section because I will give instruction kung ano naman yung inyo obrahon. Okay? So going back to our discussion already. Okay? So mabalik kita sa discussion naton, which is about contemporary visual arts. Now we're going to discuss about contemporary visual arts. Contemporary visual arts, as the term suggests, ano ganing visual arts class? It deals with your vision, with your sense of sight. Okay? It deals with your sense of sight. It appeals to your sense of sight. So, tanan nga pwede makita, nga ma-appreciate sang eyes nyo, could actually fall under visual arts. As long as it's part of an art. Did you get me? Now, there are different categories of visual arts. The first one, anay, na i-discuss natin would be fine arts. From the term itself palang class, makita ta na nga ang fine arts ya, it could deal with being fine bala class, with being good, alright? Being makita mo nga namin sa mata, ma-appreciate sang mata mo gid, that is fine arts. Now, most contemporary Filipino artists created artworks that fall into fine arts category. Majority of those artworks include paintings, alright, drawings, and sculptures. So, di ba, ang visual arts, may different types siya. May fine arts siya. Okay? So, tandaan nyo na eh. Kuha ka mo notebook nyo, at tandaan nyo. For example, fine arts, visual arts. Alright? So, then, under visual arts, there will be fine arts. Isulat ko na lang class kayo para mabalaan nyo again. Alright? So, under visual arts, for example, visual arts. So, for example, amo na. Okay, I hope you can see it. May visual art. Then under visual art, may ara kita sang different categories. Okay? So may ara kita sang mga different categories. So one category of it is fine arts. Fine art. So amo na class, ang mag-graph ka bala class, mag-graph ka para dali mo matandaan. That is how you do it. Okay? First is visual art sa babaw. Then may branch siya. Aring branch niya, ang branch niya is fine arts. Then, under fine arts, may ara pagid kita sang branches. Under fine arts, we also have different types naman of fine arts. And one of it, and those are paintings, drawings, and sculpture. So, amo na mag-categorize kamo class ha para hindi ka mo malipat. So, this one is an example. Alright? So, I hope you can see it. Visual arts, then fine arts. Then, under sa fine arts na naman, meron kita paintings, drawings, and sculpture. Alright? So, I hope you learned something about it. Now, we're going to go deeper. Okay? We're going to go and have an in-depth discussion of what are paintings and illustrations as part of fine arts. Now, this one is an example. The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, and The Scream by Edward Munch. Okay, so these are some of the famous nga mga paintings gid class that we have seen already in our history. All right, so these are some of the greatest artworks gid ever made by some of the greatest and famous nga mga artists. These are some of the most famous paintings. Okay, so I know that some of you were able to make some paintings now on your own. So maybe, di ba, but this subject nga you're able to develop or you're able to create some of the famous paintings that you can see or the world could see. Next, paintings are characterized as two-dimensional artworks that evoke ideas and emotions. So class, what do you mean by two-dimensional? Di ba class, may nakita three-dimensional, and when we talk about three-dimensional, you can see it in any other side, right? In all sides ang four-dimensional. And or in the three sides gali makita mo siya in three sides. Ang three-dimensional, right? So makita mo may width siya, may length siya, may ano pa gina siya, may side siya. Tanan nga ara sa 3D makita mo ang iya nga side. However, kung 4D naman niya, of course makita mo gid ang tanan niya gid nga side niya, tanan nga aspect niya, tanan nga quality niya makita mo. Pero ang painting class ang kinaiba niya, this is just two-dimensional. Ano man kang makita two-dimensional? Though dual lang sa bala class ka dimension, all right? So though plain lang gid siya nga makita mo, nga the plain part lang gid siya nga makita mo on a canvas or sa diin man dira nakabutang. Okay, so tandaan niyo lang na this is a two-dimensional artwork. Ano magamba kita class medium? Magamba kita medium class, though these are ang ginagamit mo ba lang ang mga materials, mag-paint ka, alright? Ang ginagamit mo nga, kumbaga, do language mo bala, okay? Or the way you make use, okay? Or the way how you put life to your work. Alright? So, ginagamit mo colors, ginagamit mo mga materials, right? So, example na, mga pastel, ink, watercolor, oil, or acrylic. Nagambag naman kita mga tools kya. These are some of the tools gidya literally nga ginagamit mo gid. Alright? So, mga finger mo, right? No, finger mo, kakadlaw ka, ginagamit mo itong finger mo sa tsakto nga bagay. Knife, brushes, palette, and spray. So, ginagamit mo ni sila class, of course, to make your painting. Alright? So, I hope you learned something about it. Now, we're going to discuss about the different painting themes. So, mga painting themes naton, may mga different man kita nga mga themes bala or kumbaga mga topic bala class or mga concept bala on how we express ourselves or on how we create our painting. Example, religious themes. Of course, by the word itself, it deals with religion. When the Spaniards colonized the Philippines, the artworks that were created were mainly inspired by the religion Christianity, right? Introduced by the Spanish colonizers. Of course, kapilatan na mahambal. Ang colonizers nga mga Spanyol nag-influence aton with Christianity. And of course, because of their influence, ang aton artman on or artworks that we have created or the ancestors or the old Filipino people, okay, or ang mga Pilipinos ang una, nag-create man sila, of course, with the touch of religion, which was Christianity. Now, a lot of religious themed paintings were fixed in the walls and ceilings of churches. So even today, these are all still apparent that you can still see it sa mga ceilings, sa mga simbahan, sa mga ceilings, or sa mga sa mga walls, ara panandara gyapon naka-paint, right? Or nakaobra ng mga artworks. Artists like Joey Velasco and Renato Habulan used religion as a theme in their painting to depict and address social problems. So, class, ginagamit, class, see the power of art kung paano ta siya magamit as a platform for us to send a message to the community or to the people. Magamit natin siya to raise awareness about a certain issue. Like for example, si Joey Velasco kang si Renato Habulan, they used painting mainly focusing on religion kay para ma-depict nila ang social problems sa aton nga society, right? So, ari example na is si Joey Velasco, ara siya. Ang hapag ng pag-asa, gin-showcase niya, gin-paint niya showing that there are children nga are eating with Jesus Christ. Okay, so this could be a depiction. This is the Filipino version of the Last Supper, balakas. Pero these are not apostles, pero these are mga bata nga kaupod ni Jesus Christ. So, according sa ginbasa ko, this raised the awareness, or this raised an issue about how important it is to focus on the issue balaklas nga may mga bata nga gakagutom. Okay? So paagi sa painting na raise ina nga issue ni Joey Velasco nga kinahanglan man naton tagaan sa importansya mga bata class or sang hunger. It's because of hunger nga sometimes may mga gamasakit nga bata, may malnutrition and everything, right? Iban hindi pa kay eskwela, right? Next, si Renato Habula naman niya, iya gingamit niya are ink and pen. Do hindi siya gani class painting ya. It's a drawing or illustration. Renato Habula's ink and pen series seek parallels between the human condition and the suffering of Christ. So dugin connect niya class ang human suffering with the suffering of Jesus Christ. Next, historical themes. May ara naman kita sa painting, may ara man of course ginadepict man dira ang mga history, okay, or ang history ta. Artists always find history as a rich source of inspiration in developing artworks, right? So this is one of the great concept or one of the great topics nga pwede naton ma-discuss or pwede naton maubrahan sa artwork if we focus only on history. One best example of Filipino artist who turned into history to create his masterpiece is the native of Angon, Rizal, Carlos Butong Francisco. Class, you have to remember Carlos Butong Francisco. Alright? From Angono, Rizal. Okay? So, siya ginang pinakakilala, class, with in terms of historical theme ng mga painting. So, si Carlos Butong Francisco. Kaya may aramang Carlos Francisco, pero hindi siya si Butong. Okay? Si Jose, later on, we're going to discuss about him. Okay? Pero si Carlos Butong Francisco, take down it. Okay? Take it down to your notes. Put it down on your notes, I mean. Okay? Sorry for the term. Then, you have to remember him. He's from Angono, Rizal. He depicts the historical events that happened in Manila. The mural Ang Filipino Struggles Through History, class, it depicts about the historical events that happened in Manila. So, tandaan nyo na. The mural is to be found in the walls of Manila City Hall. Next, examples of historical themed artwork in the Philippines. Ari siya, the Blood Compact by Juan Lunas. What you can see, ara siya. There is, of course, the process of blood compact. Ano magkita blood compact, class? Okay? Inabala, class, this is the traditional way of Filipinos in expressing the friendship between two sides. Okay? So, amo na, class, they try to cut their pulse, their dapet, okay? Sa wrist nila. They try to pulse gida, wrist galim, okay? They try to make a blood compact, okay? So they try to combine it. So they try to make their hands adjacent to each other. And then, ang blood nga nang gatulo na would symbolize their friendship or their unity. Example, pagid is the first mass at Limasawa by Carlos V. Francisco or Carlos Butong Francisco from Angon, Rizal. Now, mayara pagid kita mga portraiture. Okay, portraiture. Hindi na siya portraiture, class sa may R na di class. This is what they call portraiture. Ano mga portraiture? Portraiture painting is used to honor personalities. During Spanish colonial times, it serves as a symbol of one's economic and social status. So, right, class? Makita, balaklas ang mga painting, balaklas nga tao lang. Okay? That is what we call portraiture. So, makita mo na, class, sa mga nagmigid ng mga balay, sa mga dagkong mga balay. So, basi, may mga ara, makamunanda sa inyo nga balay. So, yes, manggaranon ka mo, class. Okay? Of course, di ba? Tanan man kita ya, we are rich. If we're not rich with money, we're rich with love. Right? So, klasa mo na. Ang portraiture, gapakita na klasang tao lang na, for example, and then, siya lang nakapaint. Sa SM, kita mo, damo na dra perming may gapaobra sa mga portraiture. One of the most common portraiture paintings in the Philippines are the portraits of the Philippine presidents, right? So makita niyo for example, sa mga elementary school, sa mga high school nga mga eskwelahan, di ba? Ara na dira nakakabit na sa ilang nga mga walls, right? The latest as of writing is the work of Daryl De Leon, which showcases the image of the current president of the country, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte. Okay? Pero hindi ba lang na siya klasang gaobra sang portraiture ni Duterte, pero do tanan man. Pero do sana ang ginsugod isang Malacanang para mag-ubra sang portraiture sang presidente. Alright? Next, still life. This is another type of theme in painting. What is still life? Still life refers to paintings that use inanimate objects as subjects. So, usually, these objects are placed on a table and often are composed of flowers or fruits inside a basket or a bowl. Okay, so makita niyo na ako sa mga still life nga, for example, may ara kabi, amon ni for example, ang daw, ari na siya sa table, then sa table nga, do may suludlan siya, then ari na direct ang mga prutas, ang mga flowers. So that is still life. Mga inanimate object, ang mga wala bala kabuhi nga mga bagay class, ga kaubrahan, ginapaint nila, alright? And then, amo na, ginapaint nila, and that is already the subject of the painting, right? So, ginagamit nila ang mga fruits, mga amo na, as the subject of their painting. That is still life, okay? Some of the most renowned still life artists in the Philippines are Paz Paterno. Okay, ipakita ko sa inyo, bala class, still life. Still life painting. Example. These are some of the examples of still life. Mga flowers, mga food. Right? Makita nyo na dira, oh. Right. Alright. Okay? So, I hope you understand that. Now, let's go to example na si Ang Kyukuk, very famous gini siya, a Filipino-Chinese still life artist, si Paz Paterno, a native of Santa Cruz, Manila. So, take note of all these artists para mabalaan nyo. Si Vicente Manansala, he showcases items and ingredients found in a typical Filipino kitchen. Alright, next, landscape. Nature is filled with wonderful creations. From deserted land to green forest, from the raging oceans to sunny skies, Mother Earth provides countless inspirations to our artists. So magamba kita class nga landscape from the term itself, land, it deals with nature, right? It deals with what you can find around you, okay? Especially it deals with nature, so that will fall under landscape. When we talk about landscape, we do not only refer to images that depict land, okay? As what I've said. Landscapes portray the splendor of the environment, such as mountains, cliffs, trees, rivers, seas, and valleys. Alright? So, hindi lang siya nag-focus sa mga sa lands mismo, sa mga mountains, sa mga trees. It could also talk about the bodies of water and everything. Lands as long as it's nature. Landscapes also highlight the different sceneries we can find in cities, which we refer to as urban landscapes. So class, hindi lang kung mga bangang nature lang class ha. Okay? It can also be found sa mga urban landscape. Ano magamit urban landscape? Inabala class ang mga squatter. Okay? Ma-paint kabi class ang mga sang painting. Bala class nga depict sang squatter or area or mga dagko nga building, high-rise building, as long as it depicts a scene or a scenery class, even if it's from the urban or even if it's from the rural area wherein there are a lot of aspects of nature, kung ano man class ang makita nyo and you will paint it as a scenery, makita mo dira sa mga scenery na dira, then i-paint mo siya, that will fall under landscape. Alright, next. Several early Filipino landscape artists followed the academic style of landscape painting. What is academic landscape painting? It depicts their vision of Earth's splendor in a realistic way. Right? This kind of painting style tries to replicate nature's beauty as closely as possible. So, kung anong itsura sang dagat, anong itsura sang puno, anong itsura sang kung ano man makita mo sa nature or sa palibot mo, okay? As long as you really paint it the way it is or as closest as possible, nga daw ang gid, ang ginagamit na kuno is academic style landscape. Okay? So, academic style siya. As time progresses, artists embrace a new take for landscape paintings. May ara na kita subong mga abstract depictions of landscapes have been introduced which encourage artists to depict their vision of Earth in a creative way. So, subong may mga abstract na class, wala na sila ga-focus sa academic style gid of painting. Inabala class ang kung anong makita mo sa puno amo na gid na. Sa subong niya may mga ara na abstract painting nga under sa landscape nga for example ga depict sa ang puno is the cube or do ga pa box. Okay? So as long as it depicts a scenery, kay ano sa gani class, abstract siya bala class, or it is being expressed in a different or a unique manner amo ng abstract class. So under landscape mo na siya gyapon. Alright, so we're going to let's go to the next one.